please remind it. Right now, I'm doing it there. Okay, so that's there. Let's keep that, as the thing. So here, this is that interesting book which is going to be sitting next to your office where you sit. This is going to be the book where you are going to be, where you go for the bed. So at least for 3 months. 3 months from now, I will be seeing you people reading this book thoroughly. Um, it's version 6. I will make this copy available to you. Don't worry about it. But you can also download it from the PMI site once you become the member. Now, what is this member? I will be explaining. Rather, I have explained it into the recording, but I might quickly repeat that particular thing for benefit of my newly joined friend Mayuri and Uday. Is that correct? No, Uday was
Yeah.
there. Uday was there,
No,
I think.
I'm not there in the last session actually.
You are not there. So Uday and Mayuri for you. Mohsin and Mukul and Pratik, were part of it. So the reason for which you are learning into the version 6 is because version 7 came later, while the exam which is there is, was already introduced there. Exam was already, so there is an exam pattern, and that exam pattern is more close to the sixth edition. In addition to that, sixth edition is sort of a composite thing which takes care of the PMBOK, which is a project management standard, as well as the processes. If you are going to learn through version 7, then you'll have to read version 7 plus one another book called as the process guide. What is that business? I will explain it to you. Before that, it's a good idea to go ahead and quickly have a look at my site. So here is my site. There is the URL. So let me go ahead and do this here. Let me put it through the chat so that you can click it rather than typing that whole thing again. So let me put it here, chat, personal meeting room, everyone there. Yeah. So everyone, including, Mohsin, you and Mukul, Pratik, you also open that website. Uday and Mayuri, you both. Did that open? Can you confirm once it is done?
Yeah, it is open. Sanjay's classroom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I want you to see there. Why is this screen coming like this? Okay. So there we, ये participant वाला window क्यों गायब हो रहा है? It was a big good feature. Okay. I could restore it. I mean, some changes these guys do in the software, and sometimes it makes it little. अरे यार ये क्या कर रहे हैं लोग? When I am actually sharing the PPT, I want the participant list to be seen so that your responses I am able to see and all that. But anyway, nevertheless. So coming back to my website, which I was saying, you will go to a page titled PMP there. You can see a page called PMP. A participant window they have removed, it looks like earlier. Yes, and okay. This is that page. Mayuri, is that visible to you? Mayuri and Uday.
Yes, it is good.
It's visible to you. Okay. So PMP, a lot of material there. You'll find so many things there. If you click onto, this book, which is called as Open Mind Multiple, this is called as, this is by the PMI, Project Management Body of Knowledge. This is that book. You are going to learn 978 pages, to be very clear, as well as to ensure that you are aware of the challenge. I am giving you the size. When you click onto that, it will take you to pmi.org. This is that site. Either directly type it into your browser or get into that. This is called as pmi.org. Now if you look at it here, you will realize that there are learning resources and so on and so forth. So many things are there. Certifications, all the information is about PMP, this course. They run several courses. Not the courses, I would say they have published so many standards and conduct the exam on that. The trainings are conducted by third party, like us. Here it is a neo skill. So that's how, it particular thing happens there. So now if you look at it here, resources, I think it should be somewhere here in resources tab, which is the standards. The career resources, okay, they have changed some structure here, doesn't matter. Learning, to thought and standards. Look at it here, PMBOK guide and so many things. So if I click onto the PMBOK guide, it will, go ahead and bring another page that this is that book. This is called as a version 7. Version 6 is also there. If you are a member, you would be able to download it very easily. So the product specification and whatnot. So this is about PMP, but it's not only that. There are so many standards, so many standards, certifications and all that thing which are available there. If I go ahead and search something called as, this is very funny software. They have changed some bad thing in the, so they call it as foundation standards, I think. So let's see if they show when I click onto foundation. Yes. So foundation of the thing, foundation standards, somewhere it should come. PMI education beginning, PMI education foundation strength. Okay, so many things, but not the foundation standards. Okay. Standards and publication. This is what I was looking for. So standards and publications, PMBOK guide, program management, all that I was saying. These are the books, and you would have realized that if you click onto any of them, it will. What is that it is showing? Did you click on any of them? Hello, friends. Did you try to click on any of them? Is the book opening?
Sanjay, you want me to open the pma.org and
Yeah,
go to the
try to
standard?
do that, Uday. Yeah, try to do that.
Yeah, IM.org standard.
Correct, exactly. And what is that it is saying when you try to click? It might say that you need to be a member. Yes, is that
There are
correct?
multiple options.
Is that correct? It is showing that you need to join as member.
Where do you got the standards icon actually?
Okay, I will tell you. I searched standards and foundations.
Okay.
I think under home, it is PMI Global Standards. Or search this PMI Global Standards.
I'm not a member, I hope, but that is the reason I'm not having
Correct.
this
नहीं,
issue.
that menu will open, but it will not. एक minute, यहाँ पर why this is not going on to mute. I have done one standby login so that I am able to see you on two. Okay.
In here.
So if you look at it here, Uday, if you try to click any of them, it will not open. Yes, Mayuri. Uday,
Yeah,
Mohsin,
yeah.
Mukul, is it
I am
opening?
getting option as a become a member, right?
Correct,
And
exactly.
second
So
one is the shop on Amazon.
correct, correct. So basically, it will say that you need to be a member. Even for me, even now, if I click onto that, I think, where is this? Why it is not clickable these days? I don't know. They have changed a little bit here. What, in short, friends, let's not waste too much of a time in that logistics. What they are trying to say is that if you want to actually go ahead and open your copy there, you'll have to get login there, become a member of the PMI. So Mayuri, Uday, and all other people as well, whosoever is doing this first time, you will have to become a member of PMI, which costs some money. Obviously nothing in the world comes without the money power. Hi, Ajay, am I audible?
Hi, Sanjay.
Hi. Okay. So
Good
Ajay, I
morning.
was saying, we are just starting so that we understand, some basic thing about it. It's not that we have not started, actual learning. We are trying to explain about, the whole of the exam process and all that. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now coming back to this meeting, I don't know why these people have made some changes. This was a better software earlier. Zoom. Nowadays it is changing the screen like anything. Okay. So there we go. It's by PMI. As you know, PMI is the institution. The site where you visited was by pmi.org. They run several of the courses there, and the one which we are going to learn is going to called as PMP. Let me rectify again. They don't run the courses. They publish the standards and conduct the exam. Trainings are conducted by the third party. Anyone who need to go ahead and ensure that it is done for 35 hours. So that's how it is there. With PMP, this is again an extract from their site. You will find this, people once you explore it more. Now, who should do the PMP? Either you are titled as a project manager, you are going to be a project manager, you are a program manager, a delivery manager, team lead, tech lead. It doesn't matter which domain you work. Even if you are working in civil construction industry, you are working into white good design sort of a thing, anything, any industry, as long as they are projects. Remember, you should be doing, you should be participating into the projects. Now, what does it mean? Is that your role should not be typical like an operations, like the people who are working in finance department. For them, this course is not very suitable. I would not say it is, they are not eligible. It's not very suitable there. So that's how it should be project. And I am sure everyone in this room would be working on to the project type of assignment. Is that right, friends?
Sanjay, just want to verify,
Yes,
like,
right.
Yes.
I used to support operations also in my earlier, and also used to work on the projects as an
Correct.
engineer, as a lead. Then I became a manager. So
Correct.
will that be calculated as a project?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Typically, what happens in this situation is that an assignment will have multiple improvements and all that thing which you are going to do, and at the same time doing the thing. So Uday, it qualifies. In fact, frankly speaking, if we don't go ahead and qualify that, Uday, I think our 70% of our IT industry will disqualify from that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Most of the people do that, isn't it? I mean,
To be specific, you mean like implementation deployment projects? You're saying?
exactly. Those are more,
Yes.
seen like a project. Now, if you look at it, infrastructure related projects, Uday, it becomes slightly difficult. But still, what has happened, Uday, is that these days there is hardly any time when any system actually gets stabilized for, a long run. There are continuously upgrades and all that thing which are happening. The change has become a very
Correct.
common thing these days as compared to what it was there 25 years back or 30 years back. That's where almost everyone these days is doing a project, is a statement which you can make very safely, and we'll be able to convince that to PMI as well without any problem. Okay.
Perfect. Now I
Now,
got the clarity. Yeah.
yeah. What do I mean by convinced to the the PMI friends? So Mayuri, maybe you and those people who were not there for the last thing might get puzzled saying it. What do I mean by convincing? You need to create an application, guys. You need to create an application and submit it to the PMI, which they will go ahead and verify saying that what you are working in the is a project. So that whole process I will explain it to you. And that's what I mean by, you need to convince to the PMI saying that what you are doing there. My help there will be always there in terms of, verifying and, reviewing your application. Before you submit the application, it's a safe deal to go ahead and show it to me, show it to anyone, for that matter, and then check that you are using appropriate words which will help them to get quickly convinced that you are working on the projects. Okay, so that's the thing I want to say by that. Is that clear, friends?
Yes, Sanjay.
So just a minute, where is that screen here? Do I go there, unmute participant? Okay, so let me check when this is, when my screen is changing, how it is coming at your end. Let me. So who should do it? There are, these things required. You need to undergo a training which has to be 35 hours. From today onwards, almost for 5 weekends, friends, we are meeting and we are going to meet and run this whole thing. At the end of the last day, I will go ahead and issue you a certificate which says that 35 hours. And that's where, friends, I told, and I'm requesting again to all of you people on the WhatsApp group, if you have already not done, put your name as you want that to appear on the certificate and Gmail ID. Some people have done it, so no need to repeat it there. I will pick it up from there, and that certificate I will issue on the last day of the training. So that is a mandatory thing there. You will need that certificate before you give the application to PMI saying that, I want to apply for PMP. Mayuri, are you there with me? Ajay?
Yes.
Yes, Ajay.
Yes, Sanjay.
So you are there with me. Good.
Yeah.
I was saying that,
Mayuri also there.
yeah, Mayuri is also there. Brilliant. Good. So now coming back to this, I was saying that, you will need to submit that particular application there. And in that you need to, in certain situation, not always you need the certificate, but it is good to, have that certificate before we say that I have attended 35 hours of training. In addition to that, so I think it was Uday or someone who was asking, before I moved into the project management, I was doing engineer and all that. Who was that?
Yeah, it's me.
It's you, correct. So, Uday, this is applicable for 36 months. So last 3 years of experience is what they are worried about. Anything before that, they don't need, they don't even ask you the information. So in last 36 months, the type of work you are doing was involved into doing the projects. It's good
Yes.
enough. So, which I think almost everyone see, typically the people who are attending my training have already done, at least 7, 8 years of, total experience there. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you can. I have 12 plus. Yeah.
Correct. So a lot of people have. Yes, Mayuri, you're saying something?
No.
Okay.
But how come they will understand? Like, for example, last 2 years I worked on projects, and previous year if I worked for 24 by 7 operations project, how come they can know this?
Yes. Hold on. That application process I will tell you, and then you will understand it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what you need to, this is a minimum requirement there. These are some of the steps there which we should do. I think, today happens to be very auspicious day. Sundays are always a great auspicious day. That's what I believe. So on an auspicious day, you should go ahead and log on to the, visit the pmi.org and create your login ID. It is completely free. It doesn't need any money, no investment. They will actually go ahead and at most, I think they will ask you the email ID for, verifying that thing there. And then with that, you can create your ID. So basically your, whatever Gmail ID, whichever ID you want to create, go ahead and do that there. I don't think that single sign on with the Google login, Facebook login is yet there. That's what I believe because I did it in 2008. So abhi malum nahi hai. Maybe some changes. If it is there through the Google, do it there. But create that ID. Then that ID is important so that you will become their thing. And then the second step is become the member. Now, what is this member? As Mayuri was saying that when she is trying to click it, it says that either become a member, or go to the Amazon and buy it there. So that's what they are trying to say. Become a member. That's a safer deal because with membership, friends, you are not only buying that book, you are becoming a member, Mayuri, of PMI. PMI has several other books. They have a program management book, they have agile book, they have a business analysis books. All the books which are there for any standard, they will be available or accessible to you if you become a member. So it's good and safe to be a member. This fees is little older number. Currently in India, they charge you 9,500 INR. In India, they charge it, in the INR. Rest of the world need to pay into dollars. Okay. So 9,500 INR is the fees there. What do you get because of that? You get an access to, all those books there. You are able to download there and all that. In addition to that, friends, listen to this carefully. In addition to that, you also get a discount in the exam fees. The day on which you are going to pay the exam fees, you are going to get the discount in the exam fees, which is always more than the membership fees itself. So in that sense, membership fees, if I were to use that word, comes free because anyway you are going to give it during the exam. So to explain this, let me do. This is the membership fee, as I told you, 9,500. But in exam fee, there are two options for the members. So for the members and non-members. For the members, the fees is 2,300, 500. These numbers, based on the dollar rate, might change a little bit here and there, not much, but some changes are always possible there. So, don't get panic about if you find something different. And for non-member, it is 35,000. So you would realize that, this plus this member and exam fees is the amount which is little lesser than, the exam fees. which non-members. So it is good to, become the member rather than, not leaving. So that's what I would say. Suggest do it quickly. Now, while I can tell you do it today only, login ID it doesn't cost any money. For the membership, take another 15 days, maybe, do it there, and so on. So anyway, New Year is always a good thing to start some new things. Is that correct, friends?
Is there any validation limit
Oh.
for the PMI?
Yes. Mayuri?
Sanjay, one more question. After becoming the member now, for how much period that books are available with us?
Good. So this is the same question what Uday is saying. So good question, Uday, Mayuri. It is the membership is valid for 1 year. Okay. So in that 1 year, you need to download that book, Mayuri. Once you have downloaded that book, Mayuri, it is with you forever.
Okay, download option is there, right?
Download is the what we should do because you can't
Okay,
read it on their website always. Correct.
okay, right.
You must download it. There is no doubt about it. You should download, and once download, it is there forever for you. The only thing is that it is valid for 1 year. And that 1 year, Mayuri and Uday and everyone, please understand that discount in the exam fees is valid only for that 1 year. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So exam fees उसके पहले पे कर देना है आपने. But don't even think, Uday, you must do it before April. April in the upper limit may don't go beyond it. You will not be able to pull on this amount of rigor, so much of a energy to study it for so much of a period for 6-8 months. You can do it only for 2-3 months, then only it will happen. If it gets postponed beyond that, there are chances of you going ahead and giving that exam and all that thing will actually reduce drastically. Do you agree to this?
I agree with you regarding this. Yeah.
Correct, friends? Which is the so you are all people working into the projects. Is that right to say? Is that a right statement? Because
Yes, right.
is that correct? Mayuri, yes. Mukul, Pratik,
Yes.
Correct.
correct. Pratik is silent.
यस सर, यस सर.
Yes.
मोहसिन भैया ठंड बहुत है क्या? मोहसिन बात नहीं कर रहा. मोहसिन, मुकुल जी.
Yes, sir. I am.
Mukul, what I was going to say about this particular project and analogy wise, because you people are working into the project, you would be knowing that, the projects which are having little bit stringent timelines, they get delivered properly, Mukul. But the projects which are having
Correct.
lenient timeline, कुछ constraint ही नहीं है, they will never get completed. Is that correct, Mukul?
Yes, that's valid.
This has nothing to do with a PMI, na? Correct, Mukul? PMP study का कोई सवाल नहीं आता. This is just applicable for anything in the world, correct?
Yeah, that's the fact. Yes.
That's the fact, isn't it? And that's where I say that don't rely, Mayuri. So for you, 1 year नहीं है तेरे लिए.
Right.
Mayuri, for you it is May.
Hmm.
So that's the timeline we should keep there. Valid wise, it is valid for 1 year. Okay, so that's good. Another thing which is for 1 year, friends, is the training certificate. When you submit it, you need to say that when did you attend the training, and that training certificate is got to be in last 1 year. So this 35 hours of training should be taken in the last 1 year. So even there, that limit is there. So best is quickly finish it off there and get it into that. So this is what I was saying. Then you need to create an application form for the PMI. You know, um, so you can do it either as a PMI member or a non-member. If you are a member, obviously you are going to get the discount later. So because you have already become the member, start filling it as a PMI member, and it has three parts there. So three parts. Oh, sorry, I accidentally came to this. So three parts. First one is your general information. For example, your name, your location, your qualification, the industry which you are working, and all that thing. Those type of information is in the part one. You can fill it in today as well. There is nothing, no, nothing related to the training or PMP or PMI or anything. Second one, you will need, to know, you need to be consistent with what certificate I am going to give it to you. Because I am speaking about, let me show you how the certificate will look. It's a sample certificate I have. So ये कहाँ गया? हाँ, here. So there we go, and I think there is a sample. Yeah, this one. is a certificate. So this type of certificate, each one of you will get on the last day. New skill technology, because that's the organization, the certificate, the dates will obviously change. They will start from 5th of January to whatever date there, and then I will be issuing it to you. So this part 2 is referring to that. You need to go ahead and say, I have attended the training from this date to this date and so on. Now, the main trick is about part 3. So, Uday, you are saying that, how do they check about it? This is what they do. Once you go ahead and submit the part 1 and, save the part 1 and part 2, Uday, a button will appear saying that part 3 saying that add experience. There is a button titled add experience. Click onto that. It will say that, what is the project, or title, a small title of the project, then a description. I think it is 500 words or something like that. It's a big, huge
Okay.
description. You need to say that, what you are doing, what was your role, what was that project, what was the objective, what did the organization got. A long free text there. That is the text, Uday, they check. That's what they read. Try to understand, Uday. They have no idea whether you work into telecom domain, software domain, which domain. Do you work into a civil construction company? Do you work into some R&D company? Whatever, they don't understand that. For them, it only matters saying that is Uday working onto the project, or is he doing an operation? So that text has to be, coined or framed in such a way that they don't suspect that you are doing the operations. I'm not saying you are working on operations, but what I'm trying to say, Uday, the problem
Mhm.
about technical guys, and particularly a lot of my guys are either in IT or ITES domain. Now, the problem about we people, Uday, and this was true about me as well for several years, is that when it comes to someone asks saying that what is the project you work on to, we always think, we always end up describing more technical part of the project. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
Now, it doesn't matter, Uday. They don't understand what is WAN, what is LAN, what is broadband. So many. I mean,
Agree.
for them, it is all. I mean, civil construction may thoda. I mean, they can't understand all the domain, but they are trying to read saying that, did you do stakeholder management? Did you capture the requirement? Did you go ahead and do the risk management? Did you make the schedule? These are the words they are looking for. So that's
Correct.
what is there. So ad experience, you need to put all that ad experience. Which industry was, not the name, which type of industry it was, what was the size of the project. And they said, what was the size of the project? And then a reference from the project. You need to give someone's reference. His email ID, personal email ID is okay, with whosoever you worked in that, personal email ID of that particular individual. Phone number, I don't think these days they are taking, but even if they take it, never worry, they don't call him. And then you need to say that submit. The moment you save that particular experience, let's say it was for 6 months. So 6 month, they will say that your cumulative is now 6 months. And the button called as add new experience will come. Add the experience, go back in another past. Keep on going into the past. And then once that whole number gets added to 36 months, they will say that you are now ready to submit. They will not allow you to, add an experience once your total experience reaches 36 months. And once you submit it, they will read through that. So Uday, that was the answer to your question. They will read through that and they will try to assess what Uday is typically doing. Is that making sense?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that's how they do it. It's not very complicated. Never worry about that. Typically, for the people who are working into IT, ITS, it is very easy to demonstrate that they are doing. But by the way, friends, I have also noticed these days is that people who are from core industry like manufacturing and all that thing, the way in which they actually work these days is lot related to the projects. It's not, even people working in the manufacturing, the upgrade of the systems, the machinery, new machinery, establishing a new plant, they are always involved into something. The whole world is now moving lot into the projects as compared to a stable thing. That stable thing is called as operations, by the way. So they say that, so if you look at it here, out of the total workforce, you'll realize that there is a huge workforce which is working towards changing something. It is unlike old days, unlike old days. So is that making sense?
Hello, Sanjay. Is there any validating date over there while adding that experience in it?
Ah, it is basically you need to start, Ajay, with the current one and then go into the back. So
Okay,
typically
so
after,
if someone is working from last 12 to 15 years in one industry. Now
Ah,
he is handling project.
ah.
So actually, once he will start, he will submit his experience in one line only. So how they verify it?
Now Ajay here. Now there is an interesting twist. So Ajay, good you asked this particular question. He's saying I have worked in one organization for such a long period, which is not uncommon, Ajay. So in this situation also, see when you say that for last, whatever 2 years I am working only on one project, they might start thinking that what you are doing is that an operation rather than a project. So Ajay, what you need to do, you need to take an improvement initiatives or anything of that nature. Let's say you have faced some audit, you prepared for the audit, face that audit, you went ahead and upgraded the the manufacturing, if you are in the manufacturing setup, or if you are already earlier working on to, let's say, on premises data center, you switch to cloud. Now, each of those things you need to show it as a project, Ajay, for them. So here is a, because Ajay put this question, this is an information to all of you. If you are working for the same client for last so many years, 3 years, 4 years, you should still break that into multiple small assignments with one objective to reach there, and say that when did it start, when did you complete, how did you plan it, how did you monitor, execute it. Those are 5 words, by the way, Ajay. Initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closing. So let me repeat: initiation, planning, execution, monitor and control, and closing. If that's the thing which you are doing, that's called as a project, Ajay. Correct?
Okay, got it.
So, and that's where Ajay, I was always saying, ये common mistake होता है. So don't even worry about it. If you send it to me before submitting, I will go ahead and tell you कि ऐसे मत कर. So never mind about that. Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So that's how this is there. And then कुछ नहीं, book करना है आपको exam. After that, the next job is to go ahead and book that exam. You can do it either from home, or you might actually, get it go into the Pearson Center. I preferably, friends, I say that go to the Pearson Center. Don't try to do it in at your home or your office. That's not very useful. There are huge restrictions. Even if when you are doing it at your home, it is called as remotely proctored. What does it mean? Is that there is someone sitting on the other hand. Your laptop's camera mic has to be on for that whole period. If he suspect that you are moved out of that, his visibility, even for a minute, he will go ahead and say, no, 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 I will cancel your exam. So it is, there are too many restrictions about it. So don't take that option. Best option is go to the Pearson Center and give it there. But that becomes another thing, friends, is that if you are doing it at home, and unfortunately, if your laptop creates some problem, technical problem, or your network goes off for a while, power goes off for a while, the exam might unnecessarily get cancelled. So don't do that. Go to the Pearson Center is the best option. Yes, Uday.
Thanks, Sanjay. Like for example, this exam is for 4 hours, right? If I'm not wrong.
I will give that details. It is 4 hours, you can say, 230 minutes, being precisely right there, Uday. So, yes,
And it is chargeable from exam center or from exam center, or is
both
free?
both the place it is same charge, Ajay. You give it at home or otherwise, the,
I'm just
the
wondering if I have to go
membership
for
fees is
washroom in between, how it
9,500
have to happen.
and the exam fees is 23,000. This is applicable for both, Ajay, whether at home
Okay.
or Pearson. Does that make sense, Ajay?
One more, Sanjay, one more question is that,
Ah.
see, what is the validity of that certification?
Good. I will tell you the day on which you
Okay,
pass that exam, Ajay, it is 3 year. But while it is 3 year, after 3 year, you need not have to come back to this training, attend that again. जरूरत नहीं है. You need to renew it. So that renewal procedure and requirement for that, I will explain. Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Good. So typically, friends, what I do is that for each of the batch, what I do is that I give it becomes my job to help you people to do all that thing. If you go ahead and click onto this Sanjay's PMP study tool, you will be able to download an Excel file. It will open an Excel file. I have already downloaded, so let me go ahead and, open that file right now at my end. So, I'm just doing it for you. Give me a minute. File. It's coming up there.
PMP cross reference.
Cross reference tool V10. Correct. That's what it will open. And if you go to the preparation schedule page here, it says 9th of February, 25. What is this business? Let me explain it to you. See, typically, if I look at our plan, currently, did you notice on the lower part of my screen, you find a chart there, PMP August 2024.
Hmm.
Can you see this, friends?
Yes.
Okay. This is the
Yes.
the last batch wala detail on which date what I did and all that thing. Yeah, all that is there. And this click here will actually open the link for that recording. Currently it will not open for you because I need to, get your email IDs and add it to the group. You'll not get. And you don't need to read through the recording of the prior batch. That's not there. Actually, our own batch schedule is here. If you look at it here, it will taking time to open. Yes. Now this is our chart, friends. Okay. ये chart में इसको ये निकाल ही देता हूँ because this will get replaced very soon. This is our chart. What is this 5th of January?
Today class, right?
Today class, correct. So it is starting today. This is the chart, which is actually showing Saturdays and Sundays and all that thing. This is the topics. This is a standard list. This actually you might sometimes end up doing little more than what we did last time. Sometimes we might become slower and whatever. But broadly, these are our dates there. These are the dates here. Okay. So if you look at it there, this 8th and 9th February, I am not there, but I am recommending you people to, because there is no session. So far, 9 sessions would have got over. If you have missed any of them, go through the recording. On that Saturday morning, go ahead and, as usual, like Uday and Mukul and Pratik, everyone, like just now you had your bath and became ready to come to the class. वैसे ही चले जाओ 8 तारीख को. Think that I am sitting on the other end and, go through the recording if you have missed anything. If you have not missed, very good, well and good. Still go ahead and do the recap on this because there is a gap. I am traveling that time. Okay. Then 15th and 16th. So if everything goes as planned, 16th of February we have completed. It is possible we might do it as well on the 15th of February. Only in worst case scenario, it might get delayed by one more week there. However, what I mean, friends, is that by 9th of February or 8th of February, we would have completed almost 80% of the course. Is that right? Going by this chart?
Yes.
Yes. So 80%,
Yes.
you agree to that? Correct. Okay. So abhi kya kiya hai in this particular Excel file, what if you look at it here, the way this is a settable date, this I can go ahead and set anything. So I can actually go ahead and say that if I am going to start on, let's say, now itself, 5th of January. 5th of January. If you look at it, the whole dates actually get changed. This is a tool and say that the project end date is 20th of March. What is happening on 20th of March? If you look at it, says that on 5th of March, get starting, read this post, read this part. There is a book called as Rita Mulkahi. So you would be reading what page, what documents you will be reading on each of the day is shown here in this. Most important is that, if we start the study today on 3rd of March, you should give a 180 question exam. Someone was asking how much is the time. It was 230 minutes and the exam will have 180 questions. So one sample mock there, then review that, one more 180 question mark, and one more question mark. That's how you should do it. And 20th of March, what's this last line?
You're saying last line, what is PMP exam date?
PMP exam and
Celebrate. Oh.
celebrate. Yes, that's the thing which it is saying. मोहसिन भाई आप देख रहे हो? Yes, Mohsin.
यस सर देख रहा हूँ.
Good. So that's the day on which we are going to meet and celebrate that Mohsin cleared it. Is that correct, friends? Okay. So coming back to this is only, a small automation which is helping. What I am trying to say, friends, that, this is a settable date. What I am trying to do is that looking at this particular calendar, approximately, in my opinion, 26th of January, you should be ready because more than half the course would have done. in the classroom. So you should start reading it, isn't it? Whatever is completed, you would be able to read it there. So if you go ahead and set that 26th of January here as a start date, so 26th of January, it said that by 10th of April, your exam will be scheduled. This. So you will be able to safely crack that exam on 10th of April if that particular thing happens. Okay. Um, so have you made a mental note of 10th of April, friends? 10th of April. That's a. Are you
Yeah.
entering into a challenging project right now? That do you agree to that?
Yes.
It is a project. Is that correct, Uday?
Correct.
This is a project. You can't say that this is not a project. You are not going to get paid for this. In fact, you are going to pay for this project. That's very funny. So, which means you are not only the project manager, you are a sponsor of this project as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you need to be careful and you need to be watchful, saying that your project gets completed on time. Correct?
Yeah.
So, one thing should be in your mind always at any point on time when you are working on to any project. Somewhere, people we meet over the cup of coffee and say, Uday, when is this project going to get over? I mean, you will remember that date by heart, isn't it?
Yes.
You must. I mean, you can't forget.
Deadline
If
time.
you forget, your customers and your boss will remind you in a bad way, correct?
Yeah. Project
तो
closure date.
ये तो याद रखना है आपको 10th अप्रैल यहाँ पे तो उदय यू नीड टू डू इट more because in other place you are only a project manager. Here you are a sponsor as well.
I agree.
Correct?
Yeah.
If you lose the money, it is your money, not your organization's money there. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that's the date there you keep into the mind and this plan you can, create there from that Excel file, change that date and it will come. And the reason for which I am putting, whatever these dates is that. So it is there 16th of February tak to training will get over and then you need to be in full fledged to, almost 1.5 kitna April to around 2 months from there is what is your preparation time which is good enough. This whole structured plan which is created, we say that what you should read every day is created on the basis of past wisdom. So many times so many people did it. So I normally have seen that, for example, chapter 6 will need around 2 days for you to read. So 13 February, 14 February. Then the same chapter on the 15th, you are going to read from another book. There are two books. I will be sharing the link for both of these books to you. So that is what we are trying to say there. Now comes the question what Ajay was asking. Ajay, are you there with me?
Sanjay, you're saying about version 6 and
Yes.
version 7?
Yes, I know. Version 6 I will give it to you. Version 7 I can't give because that you need to download your own copy from members. It is all these copies are they are watermarked and they come with the password which is same as the PMI site.
Oh.
So I will show it to you.
I have small query if you don't mind. Like, if the
Yes, yes,
exam
please.
is reflecting on version 6 or version 7?
Version 6, it is more mapped to version 6, less to the version 7. If
Okay.
version 7, if you try to read, you have to read two books, version 7 and there is one thing called as the process guide. And the exam pattern, the date on which version 7 was introduced and the exam pattern, the way in which they have defined the exam is actually earlier. Let me show you what I mean. If you come here, PMI, so here you look at it here, exam pattern or what they call it as exam outline bolte कि ये लोग some name is there. So sometimes these people, correct, PMP exam prep certification there. If you look at it, Uday, mm, preparation, and there is a document here. Yes, the practice. Okay, good. They are sometimes they give you practice exam, sometimes they don't give it to you. निकाल लेते हैं लोग कभी तो फाइनल इंस्ट्रक्शन लेड गेट एग्जाम. अच्छा, these are all the procedures and this one I was saying, this one. So this document, did you notice when was that published?
2021. Yeah.
January 21. While January 21 version 7 was not there. Okay, version 6 was there. And what is this document? It is saying how will the questions be asked. long text, but they are saying you will get 42% questions on the people part of it. If you translate that into, because 180 are the total marks there. So 75 questions will be on this topic. 90 questions out of 180 will be on the processes, and 8%, which is 15 questions, on the business environment. Do you people agree that people management is very critical aspect of project management?
Yeah.
Correct, na? Processes, like how do
Yes.
you schedule, how do you plan, how do you make risk management, what is the structure of risk register? Those are processes part of it. What is the critical path? What is agile? All those are process related questions, which are 50%. And these are business environment is actually, they are trying to say that, for every project, if it is a consulting type of thing, there is something called as profitability, margin, EBITDA, approvals, and all those things. The cash flow, is that important to know for project manager?
Yes.
It's important, isn't it? I mean, because finally that's what the organization is looking at it, isn't it? Your boss is not worried about so much about the technology where you are working. For him, the profitability matters more, correct?
Yes.
So business environment, I mean, it's not only 8%, which means 15 questions out of 180 will be asked on that particular topic. And now if you scroll down, you'll realize that on the people, they are going to ask you the question which will hint saying that how do you manage the conflict, interpret source and stage of conflict, analyze the content of the thing, evaluate and recommend, and reconcile the appropriate conflict resolution solution. Abhi, I am trying to do this on fly, friends, so don't think I might actually go ahead and fail in giving this example to you. So listen to this thing on this task one, manage conflict. Okay, so here could be a question. So Pratik, are you there with me? Pratik, what happened? Mohsin, are
They're
you
on
there?
mute actually. Yeah.
Like, okay. Mukul,
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah, good, good. Mayuri, are you there? Okay. So coming to that, Uday, what I was saying, this manage conflict question will actually translate something like that. You had some three members, team members. One of them is from, Great Britain or UK, and he is too particular about the timeline. And there is another person who is actually, from some other continent there. And, he is too particular about the quality part of it, but not so careful about the timeline. And when they were working onto the project, they came up with some conflict. So I mean, they will not use this word conflict as well, Uday. They will say that the person who was, Britisher, who was saying that, we should do it on time, even if there is some functionality we are not able to complete there, we should go ahead and talk to the people first. And the person from other continent, he comes back and said, I think we should manage the stakeholders very well. Even if it gets delayed by a day or two, it doesn't matter. And then they were having the fight. How do you go ahead and handle that? That would be the scenario. That could be on the task one. What I'm trying to
Ajay,
do, they will
uh,
translate all these things into a scenario. And in that scenario, you need to answer it. Okay? Yes, Ajay.
what is the passing criteria for it?
Good. So typically the grapevine, I call it as a grapevine, Ajay, because no one announces, even on the PMI side, they are not. They say 65%.
Okay. So
65%.
see, actually, the exam is distributed in three parts. Okay, people, process, and the third one is business. Okay, so
Correct.
in all three parts, we have to
Score
get
65%.
61.
That's what.
Overall, we have to get
Nahi.
overall, na?
No, it is overall as well, but in each of them you need to have some minimum thing. So how does the result look? I will explain it to you, Ajay, so that you'll understand. How does the result look? It actually shows that, the name of the participant. This is how it will come to you. Ajay Raut is, the person who cleared PMP. Okay. They will say that how did you do on something called as a people part of it?
Hmm.
How did you do on process part of it? how did you do on the business environment part of it, and overall. Okay. Now, even in this, Ajay, they don't tell you that, how many marks you have scored in each of them. That's not the way in which they actually do it. So what they do, they actually show you saying that need improvement, then you are below expectation or below target. They call it as below target, on target, and above target. Above target. Now, what they will say, on people front, Ajay is above target. On processes, he is on target. On business environment, maybe he is below target. Overall, he is on target. This type of thing it comes. Now, the criteria, Ajay, here is that if you land into needs improvement in any one of it, you fail. Correct?
Okay.
Below target is not a crime, Ajay, but in my opinion, below target, if you people and process में अगर आपका below target हो जाएगा, Ajay, it will
Hmm.
be difficult for you to recover. What I am trying to say, below target, even if it is not a crime, if you do it in business environment, because it is only 8% ना यार, आप देख रहे हो ना, इसका वेटेज ही कम है. करेक्ट
Hmm.
है. ये 15 में तेरा बिलो टारगेट भी हुआ तो ओवरऑल यू विल गेट रिकवर्ड. करेक्ट.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
remaining 100 and what 165 questions you will be able to cover properly, so that you come on target, or on target at least. Correct. So,
Hmm.
but at no point on time, Ajay, you even get an idea saying that how much marks you have scored out of 180. Kitna right aaya, kitna you don't get that. You get only this grade type of things there. Does that make sense, Ajay?
Yes. Means that if I will get below target in business, so
Business.
after that also I will be fail.
नहीं, if mostly business environment में if you go below target, in my
Hmm.
opinion you will still clear, because remaining two year be on target or above target ना, तो वो
Okay.
तो
Okay.
clear हो जाएगा तेरा. See, one
Okay.
below target in one of the area is not a crime. Needs improvement in any one of them you will fail.
Okay.
नीड्स
Okay.
इंप्रूवमेंट इज वो फेल है रे, वो 35% के नीचे आएगा. तेरे को ग्रेस भी नहीं देने वाले लोग.
Okay. Okay.
You
Got
getting?
it.
By
Yes,
the
sir.
way, friends, today is, I mean, if it is everything is possible, everything works out to be well, by 3 p.m. today, I will drop a message on this group saying that one more person has cleared the exam. वो अभी गया है, वो एग्जाम देने गया है 10 बजे. So maybe by 2, I will get that news there. So Ajay, coming back to that, what I was trying to say, most of my students, it's not because I am too brilliant trainer there, but most of my students, they end up actually scoring above target in all three areas. It's very common. Now, I will tell you why. It is because, Ajay, the amount of 35,000 plus training amount is substantial money in India. Is that correct to say?
Yes, yes.
It's not a
Exactly.
very small money, यार.
Yes, yes.
अजय, तू ना तब तक डेयरिंग नहीं करेगा एग्जाम देने की कि unless you are prepared, correct?
Yes.
And in most of the situation, people end up over preparing, which is good, which is not a bad idea. We should always over prepare rather than under prepare, correct?
Yes.
And because of that, most of the people end up being above target. So इसकी ज्यादा चिंता मत कर. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes.
Just don't worry too much around that. You will crack, clear that thing there. Now, the second part of that, Ajay, you are saying, so 10th of April. What's going to happen on 10th of April, friends? Mayuri madam, आप कहाँ हो? Which location are you at? Is she there? Okay.
Sanjay, difference between version 6 and version 7 are going to explain next sessions.
We don't need to, but I will show you that all the versions do have the first part of it, which actually shows that difference. So let's go. Because we are talking about it, let's speak about it. ये देखिए version PMP 7. I have this PMP, and that will also, make you understand that why I am saying we cannot share PMP 7. Then comes 7th edition. Uday, did you notice it is asking a password now?
Correct.
This is that, PMI password. Now, this particular book 7 got opened. This is book 7. Did you notice that on each of the line, they have a PMI license to Sanjay Joshi? Did you notice that?
Yes.
The moment you download, it will, it is a license to Uday Kumar. So tomorrow, if you go ahead and try to share, they will say this is a crime. You are not supposed to be. No, it is not for distribution, sale, or reproduction. So that's what they do
Yeah.
it. So no one will be able to do that. For 6, because it's an older version, the crack copy fee for that is available. That is number one. Number two, in terms of differences, I will tell you, Uday, because we are speaking about differences. There are three parts which you need to learn. One is called as the PMBOK guide, which is a project management body of knowledge. It's a standard related to the project management. PMBOK 7 has that. It is certainly there. In addition to that, there is something called as a process guide. Let me check if I am able to do it very easily, but it's there in the, on the PMI site as well. Let's check if I am able to. Process guide है क्या? It's not there. So here, friends, if I go ahead and so if I log in, I need to log in. If I log in, then I will be able to download, open any book, and I am a member of them, for obviously permanent. I always keep on renewing membership. I keep on renewing every year, and certificate I keep on renewing every 3 year. That's what is common thing for me. So it is saying successfully logged in there. Why? It is taking little long time than what I expected it should take. Okay. Lot of threat he is giving me. Is it called as process handbook or process guide? I don't know. Let me check. Process guide, I think. So this is a separate book, which you need to read. Apart from PMBOK, if you are going to do it through version 7, then you have to read that plus, the practice guide. This one, a practice guide. Now this will open here because I am the member here. You have access to this because of that. So I'm already a member there. That's why once you become the member, you will get it there.
So
If
now
I
the person who
and
is going
download
into this version 6 also can crack it, right?
version 6 also,
He can crack the exam, na?
you will be able to crack it more easily if you are doing it on version 6. In fact, it's other way around. Not only able to crack, you will be better if you do it, with version 6. That's what we are trying to say. So anyway, I think it is getting. So let's not waste too much of our time. Now the PMBOK, the copy which I am going to give it to you is actually, you remember on the WhatsApp, I have given you already a link to download the books, this message. If not, let me go ahead and copy this for you. Control C, and I will through the chat send you this link as well. So this is the link where you will be able to download two books. One of them is that PMBOK 6, which has three part. It has a process guide, it has a PMBOK as well as agile practice guide. So it's a composite thing. If you read that one, then you are done for all the thing. If you are going to go via, your PMBOK 7 route, then you have to read three separate books. That's the difference. Okay, Uday?
Okay, got it.
Anyway, currently go ahead and trust me and go with that version what I'm going to share it with you. So that
Sure.
download should start for you certainly, Uday, because your email ID I have already added. For remaining people who have shared their email ID on the Gmail now, I am going to, do it during our coffee break there. Okay. So that's how it happens. And yes. So Ajay, you were saying, the validity of the certificate, correct?
Yes.
ये दो books हैं. This will be available on that link. what I have given it to you. So now this is the format as I told you. Exam format. Total minutes are 230, by the way. Total minutes are 230. There are three parts of the exam. They are not three parts as a people, process, and environment. The questions will come into paper which are random. The first question could be on business environment, second could be on the people, third could be on the people, fourth on the process, fifth on the whichever random way it will actually come there. Okay. But there are three parts which are like this from question number 1 to 60. Once you solve it and try to submit that thing, they will say that do you want to do the review of these answers or not? You can review it. And once you said I have reviewed, submit it. You submit it, you will get an optional break of 10 minutes. 10 minutes you can go away from the thing and it will do that. The clock will stop. After 10 minutes the clock will start automatically. Then you will get a second set of question which is 61 to 120. Remember the questions you have submitted before 1 to 60, they are locked. You cannot go ahead and visit them. You cannot change any answer. You can't even see them. 61 to 120, another 10 minutes of break. 121 to 180. This is the last part. After you submit it, they will say that your exam is completed. Your result will come to you within whatever 8 hours. Normally it comes within a day, it comes there. So that's how it typically comes there. Now remember friends, one more thing there is that the time is not separate for these three parts. It is total 230 minutes. So if you become too slow in solving question number 1 to 60, it will not stop you. However, so much of time will get reduced from part 3. Total is 230. So my recommendation is to stick around with a schedule as 75 minutes, 75 minutes and 80 minutes. If you add these number, you will realize it's 230. So you yourself keep a track saying that in first 75 minutes, you should solve 60 questions. Next 75 minutes, 120 question. Any amount of delay in terms of the time you do in the part 1, you'll have to pay through the part 3. Part 1, part 2 kuch nahi hoga. Part 3 mein your time will get reduced based on that. Is that clear, friends?
Yes.
And then comes the last one about Ajay, your question, 3 hours. So if 10th of the April, as we are saying, you go ahead and crack that exam, your certificate will be valid up to 9th of April 2028. 2028, Ajay. Okay. In this whole period of 3 years, Ajay, you need to read certain books, you need to go through some videos, do some courses, whatever activities which are related to the project manager and keep on claiming it on their site. You need to log on. Your ID will be there, membership will be there, your exam will be, you would have done. So log on there and say that I have read a book which was on agile practices. It will say how many hours was that? You say 4 hours. They will say that you are given 4 PDU. PDU is a short form of professional development units. 4 hours are professional development. If you attended some 16-hour training given by your company on some project management, risk management, stakeholder management, leadership, anything which is related to the project management, log on and go ahead and say, I have attended such and such training on this, it was a 16-hour training. They will give you 16 PDFs. They don't need any proof, Ajay, for that. They trust about on your self-declaration saying that this is what I did it. Once all that gets accumulated to 60 PDU in the span of these 3 years, you are ready to renew the thing. So you need to pay another fees. I think that time it is again some 9,000 rupees you need to pay. And your certificate will get extended up to 9th of April 2031. And then it is perpetual.
Okay, so that time I have to again give the exam or
No, nothing. ये renewal 60 PDU जमा हो गया खत्म. No exam.
okay,
No.
okay. So certificate automatically renewed. Just I have to collect that PDUs, 60
Correct. You
PDUs.
need to collect the PDUs and claim, put that claim onto the site, Ajay. Correct?
Okay,
Which
got
doesn't
it.
need it doesn't. For example, if you have gone through some YouTube video which is on Agile or latest trends into the project management, or let's say which company are you working, Ajay, at?
Reliance.
Reliance. So if you are actually and it's Reliance or Reliance Jio?
Reliance General Insurance. RG.
General Insurance. Okay. So Reliance General. If you have gone through some video, we said what are the latest trends into insurance industry these days. Some video.
Okay.
Even that activity you can claim there. They said, ki, हाँ, and they said, ki, हाँ, it is useful for you to do project management because you are in that domain. So anything of that nature, they are perfectly happy. They go with your own, certification. Correct?
Okay. So if I collect 60 videos before that date,
Correct.
okay,
So,
so it will prompt me to renew your certificate, or I have to means it will prompt me after completion of that tenure.
no, no. In fact, यार अजय पैसा जल्दी मिलता है तो किसको नहीं चाहिए करेक्ट सो
Uh-huh.
दे विल रिमाइंड यू saying कि हाँ अजय नाउ यू आर रेडी प्लीज पे द फीस एंड इट विल गेट एक्सटेंडेड द ओनली गुड थिंग अजय इज दैट इवन इफ यू डू आफ्टर 1 year
Hmm.
26th only you did the certification extension will happen only after 28th.
Okay. Okay.
बेसिकली they would it is like वो प्रीपेड प्लान में होता है ना रे तेरा अगर
Got it. Got it.
current prepaid plan is there and 10 days before you renew, it gets
Hmm.
renewed from the expiry of the prior plan, correct?
Yes. Yes. Got it.
Same concept. You can actually do it earlier as well there. Later wala mat karo. I mean, some 3, 4 months, 6 months tak ka grace time they give if you don't renew it by then. So,
Okay.
you still have a choice to renew it. वो उसमें
Okay. Now one more question is there, Sanjay.
हाँ
If I did not collect that PTUs, 60
हाँ
videos,
correct
and then I want to pay 9,000 and renew it. So is
हाँ
it possible?
no they will not. It will that option itself will not get enabled for you.
Okay. Okay.
It
Got it.
needs that 60 PDUs wala.
So
So
in that case, I have to again face the exam and renew my certificate, or
हाँ
I have to,
करेक्ट
right? No?
एग्जैक्टली तो आई मीन इट्स सिली इनफैक्ट इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड ना कुछ भी बुक पड़ेगा तो भी यू कैन क्लेम दैट इजंट इट एंड
Yes. Yes.
3 hours of work in a 3 years of span is Ajay always there even if you go ahead and attend all the trainings which your company has arranged for you people that will
Yes.
add to
Yes.
60 PDUs यार
Yeah. Yeah.
ना 5 दिन का तो सब कंपनी में होता है करेक्ट
Yes. Yes. होता है.
उसकी 5 days of KRE is there करेक्ट
Yes.
सो 5 days का कितना हुआ साल में 40 घंटा हुआ अजय
हाँ
हो गया ना
हाँ
फिर 3 साल
हो
में
गया, हो
एक
गया.
सौ बीस हो जाता है उसमें सो
हाँ.
what I'm saying, this is only the what company did. In addition to that, if you read through something, if you attend some course and all that, that becomes making 60 is never a problem. So you should never allow that to lapse.
Yes.
Okay, good. So brilliant. I think what I was thinking I will do, I have done something little more than that is I have almost explained the whole thing to you people who are new there, having understood about the project challenges and all that thing. Now it's a good time to start working on to the project, which means start learning the things. What do you say, friends?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, everyone, any question on this so-called, I would say, administrative steps about the PMP? Because we have not seen even the definition of project so far. It was more of an administrative steps to do this. Any question anyone has? If you don't have a question, you always have to come back and say that I don't have a question. So
I'm
keeping
good,
quiet
Sanjay. I
will
don't
not
have.
be the. Hmm? Yes.
I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks, Uday. Yes, friends. What about you, Ajay? Ajay
No,
was
sir, no.
no question. Pratik. So
No,
good.
sir.
Mukul, Mosinji.
Yeah, no questions.
Mosin Bhaiya, are you there with me?
Yeah, no questions. All good.
10th of April, याद है मोसिन?
Yeah.
हाँ? Everyone remember here, 10th of April.
Yes.
Mayuri ji, 10th of April. Yes, okay. Mayuri is actually responding through the chat. No problem, Mayuri. So, coming back to that, 10th of April, I am expecting a lot of sweet boxes coming to me. Is that fair to expect?
Yes.
मोहसिन भैया आपके घर से तो चितले बहुत नजदीक है.
Yes, sir.
Good. Anyway, jokes apart. What I am trying to say is that take it एक स्पीड में हो जाता है मोहसिन. What I am trying to tell you, स्पीड ड्रॉप मत होने दे. Are you getting this point, friends?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I mean, how many of you actually love doing small tricks and all that thing? I mean, anyone here?
Yeah.
Some climbing the hill and all that thing. Did you notice that one of the crime in this thing is going and stopping somewhere? Stop nahi karna chahiye. If you reduce your speed is okay, but the moment you stop it, your energy actually drops like anything. Is that, have you seen it? Yes. Do you agree to that? If you are doing a trek, continue to walk. When you are tired, reduce your speed, but don't stop. If you stop, you are in trouble. Correct?
Correct.
Almost same thing would for this. So if you continue to do that, it's good. Typically, project may, which is the very first event?
Quick off call, planning something,
Correct.
initiation.
Good. So there says kickoff call. Yes, Mohsin, आपको जो रहे थे.
Yeah, to initiate, to gather
Correct.
requirement and
Initiate,
to
which is
initiate. Yes.
the kickoff. So Mohsin, kickoff call में some chips and sandwich तो बनता ही है यार.
Yes, definitely. We have to have
We need to
energy
take a
to go through. Yes.
nice break. If not chips and sandwich, at least a coffee तो बननी चाहिए. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll start, our learning post our coffee break. Let me check what's the time it is saying now. The clock says 10:39. Assume 10:40. So at 11 we'll start actually chapter 1 introduction. Is that okay?
Okay.
Sure,
11
Sanjay.
a.m.
Okay. Yeah.
11 a.m. Another thing, those people who have not given their name and Gmail ID onto the WhatsApp group, do it so that during the break, I will go ahead and create, provide the access to you as well. We'll check that so that, when we are starting with the chapter 1, you would have opened the book, your book will be open in front of you when you are going to do that. Okay.
Sure, Sanjay.
Sure, sir.
I'm going on mute. You as well do that so that your privacy doesn't get disturbed. Just put it on mute.